Nice and smooth, just like it should be. No stiff spots. Feels good, especially for how high of a mileage motor this was. This is a d16y8. Y7 is a non-VTEC. This come out of my beater car right here. It's a 98 Civic. It's an auto too, so that's why I beat on it so much. Trans is actually good. It was replaced in 2010, and this car sat from 2015 to about like more like a week ago. So that trans is pretty low mile. I have no clue the actual mileage on it, but yeah, this is just going to be a quick little build. This motor ran fine. It ran just fine. Actually just pulled it yesterday. That car was driving yesterday, but need to get out the way. I'm done with it. We had our fun, as you can tell. So I pulled this motor, put me a head gasket on it because that car did run hot a couple times. So it's got me your head gasket right here. That's gonna go in there. Gonna get a new valve cover gasket because it leaked like hell. So I'm gonna replace that as well. But looking at it, other than that, it looks like everything's pretty good. It doesn't look like the rear main seal is leaking. Doesn't look like the oil pan's really leaking. A lot of this residue that's on it is from the valve cover gasket. And I just pressure washed it yesterday. I mean, it was a lot worse. I'm gonna try and cover this up somehow and wash it again because there's some spots I missed that were behind the manifold, and some spots back here that I missed, of course, because it was underneath the intake and it's just real crammed back here. Yeah, the plan for this is new gaskets, clean it up. I want to paint the block black because I don't like this just straight up. I'm not sure what these blocks are made out of. I'm guessing it's some kind of cast or something like that, but I don't like this color. It just looks cheap. So you can go with a nice glossy black on the block. The cylinder head, I'm going to do, let's see, I think I've actually got some paint for the cylinder head right now. Gotta go buy some for the block. Let's see. Yeah, this color right here. That metallic color. So I think that'll look kind of cool. The black block, the metallic, or just metally cover for that. And then of course paint the valve cover. Yep, but this is the Y7 head. Probably can't see in the time lapse, but this rocker cap right here was like completely loose. Not sure what's up with that. But yeah, so the plan to make a little more power out of this motor is not touching rotating or block, nothing to rotate and assembly. All that'll be stock, leaving that alone. What I'm gonna do is all gonna be in the head for now. I'm gonna try and port it a little bit, just at least port match, because you can see right here where it's not really port matched to the gasket. So I'm gonna try and do a port match, clean it up a little bit. And then I went to the junkyard the other day, went to Barry's, found a d16z8 and took the valve train assembly off of it. And I'm going to lock VTEC on this, put this valve train on the Y7 head, and essentially have a VTEC engine, kinda, except it's not gonna activate under the right oil pressure. It's just gonna be VTEC the whole time. So it's more like putting a bigger cam in it. But that's the plan, at least. It's not the greatest idea for daily driver, which is what I'm doing, but that's okay because this engine isn't actually gonna be in my car for very long because I have a d16y8, actual VTEC engine right here that I wanna put in here because this is a better head, better cam, all that stuff. So this one's getting built to be put in. This is a little temporary power adder for my car because mine got an EF hatch and it made like 90 horsepower. I'm guessing probably 90 to the flywheel, not the wheels. Right there. There's old girl. But yeah, it's easy enough to swap in there. But I got a couple other parts I'm gonna hold on to, some of this harness stuff, because I want a multi-port swap that EF out there. So I'm gonna keep the intake. I'm gonna get rid of that power steering pump. I don't need it. I don't have that. Probably keep that alternator. And really that's about it. So all I gotta do here, wire brush all this, wire brush the pistons, and what mating surfaces I can get. It's pretty much mostly really clean. It looks good. But yeah, wire brush the pistons. And it looks like it may have had a head gasket leak right here. I'm not really sure. I don't know for a fact if it needed a head gasket, but I figured if I've got it out, it's just safer for me to go ahead and put one on rather than put this whole thing together, put it in the car, and find out it really does need a head gasket. So just preventative maintenance. It actually, I know I said this already, but it actually did need a valve cover gasket really bad, so we are replacing that for sure. Also gonna paint that. Gonna paint all the cover completely black and then scrape off all the lettering on here and get it back down to this bare metal look. I'm gonna wire brush all this first so it's kind of shiny, but then I'm gonna take like a razor blade and scrape it down to that shiny part. And probably, I don't know how, I want to paint the Honda red. I think the black on red will look cool. Plus a lot of the stuff, I wish I'd have pulled it in here, but a lot of the stuff under the hood of my car is red. I've got those red silicone coolant hoses. I've got red pod air filter. I just like red. I really like red. I can't remember what else is red under there. The breather, the little breather right here. I got one. It's red. But yeah, so black valve cover, red lettering. I don't know how I'm gonna do that yet. I might just steal some of my girlfriend's nail polish and give that a shot. I don't know how that'll do under heat, but we're gonna try that. So black valve cover, red lettering, black block, and the silverish metallic head. I know it looks really silver on where I sprayed it over there, but it's actually more of just a new metal color. Like if you were to look at that cylinder head when it was brand new, it would kind of restore it back to that color. Kind of like it'll look like this clean part of the intake right here. That's exactly what it'll look like. So I think that'll just clean it up, make it look like a really nice engine. Because I don't like my shit to look like this. I'm not the cleanest guy in the world, but I just don't like grime and shit on there. I don't want people to laugh at me and be like, "Oh, look at this dumbass." So, but yeah, that's the plan at least. I would like to, actually try not to laugh too much, but I made 2 passes, quarter-mile passes in that thing. It's pretty much stock other than I put a header and a cold air on it. That's it performance. Well, previous owner cut the muffler off, but I don't know if that's doing it more good than bad. Because that engine is making no power, so it might have just taken away some back pressure from it and killed it. So, but it did a 1907 was the quickest, and from the factory, the quarter-mile time was 18.1. So a little less than a second, which ain't too bad if you think about it, being that car's a 91, that Jugger's 30 years old with the original engine. That's really not too terrible. That kind of just shows the reliability of these Honda engines, these little single jingle D-series engines, how reliable they are for it to have not lost too much power to really kill its time too bad. That's not bad, all things considered. It's not bad at all. But yeah, so I'm going to get to work on cleaning this thing up. I got to go to parts store, buy some paint, the heat block paint for this thing, and some for the valve cover. Clean it up again because paint ain't gonna stick to this. That's just some really thick oil buildup that's been on there for forever. And yeah, oh, got to pull the flex plate off too. I forgot to do that yesterday. And other than that, check for any other leak areas. It looks like the front seal may be leaking a little bit. Actually, don't look like it's leaking too bad. It hasn't dripped down the pan any, just a little dark around that area. So I might just leave that alone. I don't think that's really any cause for concern. I think that'll be okay. But everything else, I'm gonna clean it up real good, get some good paint on there, do a couple coats, clear coat, all that stuff. Just make it look right, make it look good. And yeah, hopefully drop it in this weekend. It would, you know, everything goes right, that's the plan. Throw it in there, because I mean, this is a D16, that's a D15 B2. Everything's the same, you know, everything block-wise, cylinder head-wise is the same. Except, of course, the spark plug tubes are in the front, but that doesn't affect it any. So should be a direct swap. Hopefully be easy enough. Make a little bit more power, but we'll see. All right, well, that's all. I hope y'all enjoy, and I will do an update video, probably another time lapse of me dropping it in there. And I think that'll be a kind of cool one to see. Just the whole time lapse of me putting a motor in there, or pulling one out, putting the other one in. Should be cool. Probably pull an old all-nighter, bring me a little air mattress and a fan in here. Sleep for a couple hours and get up and do it again, because it's currently my only driving car at the moment, so it's kind of a stupid idea, but that's just the things you do for power and fun. My truck, the subframe's got to drop out, so I don't have it right now. But, yep, that's it, and we'll see y'all in the next one.